Welcome to Silverstone, the home of British motorsport, and for today, the home of the penultimate round of the 2009 GT Cup. You're the team manager looking after the Lotus 211. Tell us a bit about this car.
It's a cracking car actually from Lotus, 270 brake horsepower, very lightweight, and they've just allowed it into GT Cup, which makes it, gives it a little bit more scope to sort of run the car. Nice tyres, Pirelli tyres, really sticky. So it really brings the best out of the car basically. Sequential gearbox, proper driver's car. And we're planning on next year doing some races. There's quite a lot of people with Lotus 211s racing in Elise Series and Euro Cup and so on that are looking for somewhere to run their fantastic cars and spec them up a little bit.
Marcos and Colin Simpson, rolling start then as ever in GT Cup. The cars accelerate away with Mike Gardner getting a demon start, the Viper leading. Mike Donovan tucking in behind as they go down towards Copse Corner for the first time, but not really being able to make a move there. The field powering its way for the first time up towards Maggots, then Beckett's. And on the international circuit, of course, it's that slightly elongated version of Beckett's, then through Ireland and onto the international loop as David Hathaway gets it all wrong, spins at Copse Corner. Colin Brosner goes off in avoidance. Drama at turn one of that one as Mike Gardner then heads the pack, coming up now through Beckett's. He's being chased by the Porsche in the hands of Mike Donovan that won here at the start of the season. Richard Denny goes off now. Seen from Gary Eastwood's Porsche, they thread their way out of Beckett's, then through Ireland for the first time. And this one of the busiest grids we've had in GT Cup in the category's history, and great variety as Porsche, Lotus, Marcos, Ferrari, BMW all descend on Beckett's. The Viper leads Porsche then. Gardner ahead of Donovan as they go down towards the Abbey hairpin for the first time. Also in a hurry now, Chris Randall in the Lotus, who's trying to gain ground as they came through Beckett's into Ireland. Alex Martin pressing on their 87 in his Porsche, keeping Marco Pullen at bay. Marco has this tendency to qualify badly, but by the end of the race he's always at the pointy end. The Ferrari fight then raging on now as they come down towards Abbey, and in the background look two great and iconic British marques, Lotus and Morgan, getting it together. Chris Randall in the Lotus holds the place for the moment, but right with him is Howard Spooner in the Morgan Aero 8. A long bonneted front engine car sprints up alongside the stubby little Lotus coming up towards Bridgebend, but Chris Randall I think is just going to hang on to the place. There's also a yellow flag zone here because of the Aston Martin being off the road. The Ferraris together, Jeff Ledley at the moment keeping Jack Gerber at bay. Down they come through the left-hander at Brooklands, heading up now towards Luffield. And Jeff Ledley, who has been one of the star drivers all season in Group 2, coming under pressure. Jack behind him, who's been racing only for a couple of seasons now. As in the meantime, Chris Byland there, trying to work his way up the order in the Lotus 211, doing a very good job indeed now. He's on the tail of Rupert Martin's Porsche. That car up from the back of the grid, Sarah Bennett Baggs in the Exley Atkins BMW goes through. And of course now for the leading cars, lots of Lapri having to be as up front. Mike Gardner continues to dominate here. Now we have had news that he's been given a 10-second penalty for a full start, but it's not going to make an iota of difference because he is so far ahead of this fight for second place now. Heading down towards Copse Corner, Howard Spooner has second place, but not for long because up on the inside goes Jack Gerber then to take over second position. His Ferrari going well, but of course we have already lost Ian Hartley. This is Chris Randall now, really charging on in the Lotus. He's managed to wriggle his way, not only up ahead of the Jack Gerber Ferrari, but also Howard Spooner has dropped back in the Morgan. So, first time out in GT Cup, and we've got Chris Randall up into second place. There is 34 Jeff Ledley, second in Group 2 at the moment. Group 3 honours looking as though they're going to go the way of Jim Geddy. Down he comes towards the Abbey hairpin. Whoop, contact ahead of him. Rupert Martin there being given a real whack in the tail by the 88 Ferrari. Leon Price at the wheel of it, just missing his braking point. But the checkered flag is ready because at the end of 25 minutes of racing, Mike Gardner is on his way out of Woodcote Corner. There's the checkered flag, and Mike Gardner wins once again in GT Cup. Very, very happy about life. But it's been a pretty easy win, even allowing for the 10-second penalty. He wins by over 30 seconds. But for second position, it's Chris Randall. Great debut in the GT Cup. The Lotus then scuttles its way across the line. And for third place, another GT Cup newbie. That's Jack Gerber ahead of Howard Spooner, with Alex Martin set to fifth place and Leon Price for sixth. So there is confirmation of the way the top 10 came across the line. Mike Gardner's Dodge Viper wins outright. Chris Randall, a great debut for the Lotus in second place. The groups, well, Group 3, Jim Geddy ahead of Ben Harvey and Gary Eastwood. Chris Byland's Lotus 211 defeats David Tomlin and Robert Koenig in Group 4. As far as Group 1 is concerned, it's Gardner, Randall and Spooner, with Alex Martin and Jeff Ledley playing second and third fiddles to Jack Gerber in Group 2.
And quite amazingly, we've got a new face winning in Group 4. Chris Byland, how is that for you? You started at the back of the grid.
I have no idea. I completely lost count, and Simon will tell me off because I'm supposed to read the pit boards when we go around, but I was too busy to watch the pit boards, so I hadn't got a clue where I was. I thought I was right down the pack, and I was having a great old royal battle with a yellow Porsche, ducking and diving all the way around the circuit. He got me, I got him, and I came in, and they waved me to the podium, and that's the first I knew, so it was a real shock.